Welcome to the Eutaw Street Banter podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. I'm Cody. With me, like always, is Elijah. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, just enjoying the weather. We're finally starting to feel not like winter anymore. It's starting to finally move away into some warmness, and I'm enjoying it. I know I got to wear shorts today.
Whoa.
Can't remember the last time I got to say that. Especially, I was home for spring break, and it was cold. Then came back up to Pennsylvania expecting to be cold again, and it's been nice. So, the weather really predicts your mood this time of year, and I mean, you're feeling good.
I get it. Yeah, I mean, today here, it was like almost 70.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Nice.
It really makes, when you're like, when we were talking about like spring training, like it's actually spring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's more like winter training.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So let's this isn't going to be a super long podcast because it's spring training and we try to save up all our energy for the new season. But until then, let's dive right in. I'm going to get into some MLB news. This is usually not so much Orioles related, but can leak into that a little bit. So let's get into it. So MLB news, we got the biggest news, in my opinion, is the new era completely flops on their new overlapping hat design. Everybody, if you haven't seen this, please Google. It's bad. It's bad. Like, there's some bad words accidentally. Some good stuff there. So I'm not going to be getting the Orioles one because I'm more of like an on-the-field hat anyway. That's just not my cup of tea. But you're also probably not going to be getting what the Rangers or the Angels. There's some other rough ones. So, but yeah, please go Google that. Look up you'll get a good laugh. The next one, here's not a great laugh for Yankees fans. Garrett Cole is out with Tommy John surgery, so he'll be out for this complete season and probably a little bit of next season too. And that falls right in line with Giancarlo Stanton also out for a long period of time. They don't know. They don't even know what's really wrong with him. So a lot of injuries over there on the Yankees front. And I'll be honest, we like to talk crap on the Yankees, but we feel you, bro. Like we're in the same page. So honestly, we get it.
It feels like it's more even in the playing field.
Yeah. we get it. Like, one big thing I never do is I never wish injuries on people. I would, but yeah, so another thing coming up is the breakout series is coming. The Orioles will play the Yankees, where top prospects from each team will be going against each other. Not a big fan of us playing a division rival. I mean, there's probably not much more they can do about it. They also probably don't care. It is still spring training, but last year was pretty cool when you saw Jackson Holiday go against Paul Stevens. But I like the breakout series. It makes spring training a little bit more interesting. I'll definitely tune in. If I don't get to watch it live, I'll definitely watch the replays. Sammy Bassella is going to play. Really excited about that. My man keeps hitting moon shots. So another thing, Lucas Giolito, the Red Sox starting pitcher, who had, I believe it was Tommy John surgery last year, or he had a type of surgery that kept him out for the entire season. After he was a big signing for them last year. He has hamstring tightness, so he has been shut down for a little while. I mean, poor dude, was one of the best starters in baseball for a while. Then the last thing was the Tokyo series is starting, and that is the beginning of the MLB 2025 season. That starts on March 18th. The Dodgers versus the Cubs. And who do you have pitching? Who's pitching that series, Elijah?
That's going to be, I think it's actually really cool how they're lining it up. They have two Japanese pitchers going at it. So you have, for the Dodgers, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Their massive signing that they signed last year. He'll start for them. And then for the Cubs, it's going to be their stud, Shoto Imanaga. And I mean, if you listen to when we did the podcast with Gary from Britain, he loves Shota, and I think this is going to be a game everyone should be tuned into this series. Spring training is still going on while this happens, so it's really the first taste of real baseball that we'll be able to get, and I think it's a great way to start off the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's all the MLB news we have because thank God there's not more going on, we're getting ready for the Major League season. So
Make magic happen with Emily at Blue Crab Travel, your Disney vacation expert. Ready to experience the wonder of Disney? Let her help you plan the ultimate Disney getaway. Whether you're heading to Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or a Disney cruise, she has you covered. Emily can take care of custom Disney itineraries, tailored to your family's needs and preferences. She also can help find you exclusive discounts on Disney hotels, tickets, and packages. Imagine a stress-free vacation with hassle-free booking for accommodations, dining reservations, and fast passes. From character meet and greets to thrilling rides, Emily will make sure every moment is unforgettable. Email Emily Jones today at emilyjones@bluecrabtravel.com to start planning your dream Disney vacation.
Oh, it's trivia time with Elijah. What do you got, Elijah?
So this one, I'm kind of dipping into another sport a little bit, which is something I've actually been watching a lot of recently, is hockey. And me and Cody were both Capitals fans. And kind of the one thing taking over the NHL and the Capitals is Alex Ovechkin's, the great chase, as they're calling it, to really catch up to Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record. And Ovi's only 8 goals away at this point, with plenty of games left in the season and looking like he's going to catch it. But I started looking, and I looked to see when he started his career, and he scored his first goal on October 5th, 2005, just 2 months after I was born.
That's crazy.
And so he's been playing for pretty much my entire life. Out of our top 30 prospects list that MLB comes and puts together, how many players were born after his first career goal?
Okay.
So that means they have to be younger than me, which I am 19. So They were born after October 5th, 2005.
That are currently on the Orioles roster?
That are currently a top 30 prospect for the Orioles.
Oh, probably a lot. 17?
7.
Oh, okay. Whew, I don't know.
Yeah. You think there's 17 and 18-year-olds? That's what they all are.
I thought you were trying to crush me there. I thought
no.
7. No. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the top prospect that is Kiefer Morph. He's a right-handed pitcher. His expected time to get to the big leagues is 2029. So it'll be a bit before you see him. And then there's a lot of 17-year-olds that we just got in this international signing period from this past year. Yeah. But I also see that you have a trivia question for me.
I do. Okay. All right. It's not really a trivia question. It's just It's like a brain teaser. All right. So I saw this on Instagram, and I thought this was a great question, so I'm not stealing it. I mean, so I hope you didn't see it too, because this is how this is. What 2 MLB teams do not end with the letter S?
Which teams don't end with the letter S?
There's 2.
The Red Sox and the White Sox?
See, I know that crap. God's sakes.
Well, they end with X's.
Yeah, I know. But every normal person is like, oh, yeah. And then they kind of go through them.
No. Well, that will take too long. I think we would have no one listening to us if I just went through, let's see the A's.
Yeah, I meant like I thought it would be more difficult, Elijah.
Yeah. There's only 30 of them.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you went through, 18 of them real quick, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right, I went through MLB news. Luckily, we're an Orioles podcast. Elijah, let's start up some Orioles news.
And I'll go through these a little bit, not as quick as Cody, but some of them are good, some of them are bad, and we'll just see where the conversation takes us. But starting off, we have new jerseys for the Orioles this season, and they're all orange. And I've heard some people call them prison jumpsuits. I've heard some people love them, and I really don't even know how I feel about them. I saw they officially posted a couple days ago. There was rumors for about a month or so about it, and I think I need to wait to see what it looks like on the field first.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think black on black or orange on orange? Which one do you like better? I'm not saying it has to be the City Connect. Just black and black pants.
I think black on black looks better than the only way you can work it, really, because it's so much orange, and that's my problem, is that like I love Orioles orange, obviously. That's like half of the clothes I own is something to do with the Orioles, but I don't pair it up with a pair of orange cargo shorts.
Yeah, right.
That's a bold move.
It's a lot.
And I think if you see it maybe a Friday night at Camden Yards or something like that, I know I think it's one of the first games we play of the season at home against the Blue Jays we're wearing it for. And I think that's going to be an interesting look, especially in the daytime. I don't know how it's going to look. Definitely feel like it's more of a nighttime jersey.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. It's bold.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how I feel about it. I also wish we had like a fat guy, because I think that would look
I
hilarious.
think Bartolo Colon would rock this.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious. Yeah, I feel you.
no.
I don't know either. I mean, I'm not overly excited. But
Yeah.
I also am like, you know what? Hey, it's better than just Times New Roman font that says Baltimore across the chest, I guess.
That it is better than that. And I think it's going to be an interesting move to see what they do now, because I was actually talking last night with a Yankees fan about kind of everything that's been happening with the injuries, and then also brought up the jerseys and stuff. And he was telling me how he likes this move a little bit more than even our City Connects, just because of how bland our City Connects are.
Yeah.
And him, as a Yankees fan, was saying that our Friday night home jerseys, the black ones with the orange lettering, are some of his favorite jerseys in all of baseball, which, coming from a Yankees fan, is honestly surprising to hear anything good about the Orioles in general. But I think we're going to stand out. I think that's definitely the move here. But moving on, this one I thought was just hilarious when I saw this. So Jordan Westbrook was dealing with some back spasms during spring training, and I guess he found out exactly what the cause of it was, and it was his mattress at his Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to guess, if you were to come and tell me, pick one Oriole that was having back problems because of how soft his mattress was, my first guess would have been Charlie Morton, because he's 42.
Right.
Like I know my dad's going to listen to this, and I'm sorry, but this is something that he would have a problem with in a hotel room. Like, he would wake up and not be able to roll over or something because his mattress is too soft.
Right.
And I would guess Charlie Morton. But Jordan Westbrook falls right into that, I feel like. That's just in my head, I still see him as a little bit of a JJ Hardy. And
right.
That's a JJ Hardy move right there. That is so hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. When I heard that, for one, I was like, oh, thank God, that's all. And then two, I'm like, geez, he's like an old man. I'm like, I'm pretty sure when I was his age, I could sleep on anything. Like, I could sleep standing up on a ladder. Not really, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but anyway, thank God he's okay.
Oh, yeah, for real. And then this one's an interesting one, which this came out, I think, about a week ago, but I just think it's cool to talk about it, is there was the Masson disagreement has been settled.
Yeah. And
Masson's no longer going to be carrying Nationals games after next year, which will definitely be an interesting shift. The one thing that we can hope for as Orioles fans is that it doesn't change too much for our viewing, or if it does change, it's for the better. I think everyone's been wanting more streaming capabilities for a very long time. The Masson streaming is subpar. And I think if they can focus solely on Orioles games, maybe it'll get better, and maybe we can get some more funding put into it. And really, the thing that I'm looking forward to here is now we could potentially have an all-star game in Baltimore, because that was kind of the main reason that it wasn't happening, is because MLB was mad with the Orioles over this whole dispute because we weren't paying the Nationals, which, honestly, to be fair, we should have been paying them. I mean, that was the deal. But I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I agree. I also need to get some more knowledge on this, because I'm fairly certain that the Nationals signed a poor deal when they jumped in with Masson. Am I right?
Yeah. I remember when they originally
signed
signed
the deal. Go ahead.
When they originally signed it, I believe they had kind of like compounding growth of it, whereas they started owning like 10% of it maybe, and then like every year they gained a larger and larger share of it until they capped off at like 25-30%. But I still believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I still think they were being paid unfairly because the Orioles wanted to pay them even less, because as we know, the Angelos family is not really keen on giving away money or just paying money in general. So I don't know, but it's all figured out now. The Orioles completely own it outright, and
yeah,
I think it's going to work out for the best.
So that probably means that living on the East Coast, where I get blacked out from the Phillies, the Orioles, and the Nationals, we might get streaming for the Nationals. Yeah. We might actually be able to watch, because where we live, we're blacked out for 3. It's amazing that people where when you live in the tri-state area, if you don't know where that is, that's Delaware, Virginia, Pennsylvania, right? If you live over here and you get blacked out by 3 teams, it's amazing that there's even baseball fans, because we can't even watch baseball.
Yeah,
especially
with how little people actually have cable anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fully honest. The only reason I'm able to watch any Orioles game is because the part of Pennsylvania I am far enough away that it's not blacked out.
Yeah. But
you bet if the Orioles are playing the Phillies or the Pirates, I can't watch it.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, thank God that deal's over. Yeah. And it looks like, I think next year, the Orioles and the Nationals are doing a spring training game at Nats Park.
Well, that's actually starting this year.
Is it this year? Okay, and then next year it's going to be. They're going to keep flip flopping it. So
I think they scheduled it for like the next 3 or 4 years or something like that, where it's the last day that spring training normally is. It's that like the next day. So they still have a couple days before the season starts. I think it's going to be cool as a way to kind of kick off the season for the two teams.
It just seems like right when this deal happened, like relationship has been bonded a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder how terrible the Angelos family was to the Nationals. Really, I see all these things. And I wonder if it was just them.
Yeah, because it seems like the new Orioles ownership is trying to put the right foot forward. Yep.
But something else that's interesting that's coming to Camden Yards, actually in September, is that Under Armour and Baseball Factory have kind of partnered with the Orioles to put together the UA Next All-America game. And that's basically a showcase for the best high school talent around America to come together and fight. I look at this as another version of like a high up PG tournament. For those of you that don't know, Perfect Game, they run tournaments all over and showcases all around the country. And I think this is going to be really interesting. It's really cool. Cal Ripken had a nice quote where he said, at Ripken Baseball, we all strive to provide the ball players at our facilities with big league experience. Playing at Camden Yards is as big league as it gets, and I think that's a great way to put it. The Ripken organization, I know, definitely, and the family all helped put this together a little bit more. And I think having him in the organization helps with this stuff. And, I mean, one way to get a better rep for yourself is to really go out, not just the community, but the next generation of baseball players coming up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't wait for when Camden Yards does the one for like old guys, because I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get the old wing ready to go.
65.
You know, remember what the movie is like? Was it The Rookie? Was it Rookie? Or where there's like a 40-some-year-old teacher, gym teacher, baseball coach, and hey, I'm here, guys. Let's go.
Well, it's not like a hockey word.
I'm pumping like 81.
81, okay.
So I'm not far from Sagano or Charlie Morton. I'm not far from either one.
I mean, 10 miles an hour is still pretty far.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, can I pitch like closer? No, I don't want nobody hitting a line drive at me. Never mind.
Can you get an L screen and pitch closer?
Absolutely.
43 with an L screen.
With an L screen. If you hit the L screen, you're out.
Okay.
All right, so real quick, I don't mean to jump in on Elijah's
you're good.
news here, but I can see Elijah's notes. And there's a lot of bad words because it just keeps saying injury. So Elijah, hit us with some good news.
Well, I wrote injury 3 times because I just have it bulleted out for each person's injury, and I felt like it wouldn't have done justice to these players if I put them all in one line with just all of them being injured. I had to give them their own little moment. So we'll start with Gunnar, who is the least of my worries right now. I think at most he's out a week extra. Mm-hmm. It's just the intercostal strain, which is the muscles and stuff in between your ribs. I know my roommate actually had something similar like that happen to him this season. He's a swimmer, and I know it hurts, and that's just something you just got to rest for. Yeah. So if he's not ready for opening day, which he might be, he might not be, he'll be ready by the beginning of April. He'll miss a series or 2 at most. Yeah. At least in my worries.
It would be crazy seeing Jackson Holliday at shortstop opening day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially saying he's not played shortstop in a year.
Yeah.
But now this one sucks. Grace Rodriguez is going to be out for a bit. Luckily, it seems like maybe not Tommy John, but it's his elbow. So we can hope for the best, and really just if it's Tommy John, I think we just go ahead and we pack up the season. I mean, if you listen to our rankings with Gary from A Brit Does Baseball, I had him on my top 15 pitchers. And I really just wanted him to kind of come through. And even last 2 episodes ago, talked about how I really just need him to stay consistently healthy. That's the 2 things. Like, it's kind of the key thing we needed, and he's already hurt. And I'll go into later about our rotation, but it leaves a lot of question marks, and it kind of stinks. It doesn't kind of stink. It really stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's the Oriole way. You know? Yeah. We bring up pitcher coming through the ranks that's supposed to be amazing. And he is. He's good. I'm not dissing him. And it's not his fault.
He's no Dylan Bundy.
But it's not his fault. But an injury. Every time. It just, my God, every time. Like, it's every time.
Yeah.
I mean.
He couldn't even stay healthy until we got Bradish back.
Yeah, I mean, when I talk to people and I'm like, give me a pitcher the Orioles brought up that didn't get hurt, and they bring up Mike Messina or whoever. I'm like, God sakes, then that's
25
35 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but they're right. They're right. I mean, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
genuinely, I haven't seen us in my lifetime bring up a pitcher that stays healthy and stays for us for more than 3 years. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Chris Tillman, the closest.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But do you want that to be the guy that?
But we didn't even bring him up, really. Like that was a trade.
When's the last time we had a pitcher come through the ranks and he'd be a stud for the whole part of his career with the Orioles?
Zach Britton.
Well, yeah. Well, as a starter, he wasn't.
No.
But then he went to the bullpen.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't diss you for that. Yeah. I get you.
I mean, that's
a good
honestly,
one.
that's it.
Good. Yeah, that was a
But
good.
and then speaking of relievers like Zach Britton, Andrew Kittredge, the only reliever we signed all year. We lost Danny Coulombe. We lost Jacob Webb. We bring in Andrew Kittredge. I was super stoked about this.
Same.
Through the roof happy. This was a great signing, I think. Great deal. He's out for a couple months, knee surgery.
Yeah, they literally said 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Which, luckily, I was very confident about our bullpen going into the season. This takes down a little bit. It just I will say we have some relievers in camp that are looking good, like Ronzi Contreras, and this could open up a spot for someone like him to break the roster. Because honestly, we didn't really have any wiggle room in our bullpen without this injury. Honestly, besides him, I mean, Gregory Soto, if he didn't start off good, maybe could come out, or Dominguez, but we were kind of locked up.
Yeah,
and it's going to create some question marks. I rather miss him early in the season than at the end. That's kind of the typical thing that everyone says, but I just rather not miss him at all. But to get away from some of this injury talk, let's go over. I literally put this in here in our notes. Cody didn't even know this when I wrote it down. But the reason I did this is because I knew we were going to get really bummed out by all the injuries, so I wanted to uplift us. And we both have 3 positive things that are happening right now. Cody, I'll let you go first.
I feel like you're like a therapist. Okay, after how crappy your day has been, give me a few things that.
Well, you know what? In my opinion, I think we're going to end the podcast on a nice note because I have this right here that's going to do good, and our next segment's not terrible. It's kind of in the middle.
All right. Yeah. Positive Elijah. That's what they call you. All right. So the 3 positive things that are happening right now for the Baltimore Orioles for me is, number 1, Westberg is no longer hurt, and we got him a great mattress topper.
He's just sleeping on a rock.
Amazon. Thank you. You saved him.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, Batista is not hurt yet, and he's still throwing. Does he look amazing? He does not. But is he working on things? He does. The other day, I almost was freaking out because he struggled, and then I realized, hold on, wait. Then I realized he didn't throw anything but a splitter the whole time. He can do whatever the heck he wants, but that's fine. If you're going to work on pitches and struggle, whatever, you're good, man.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say is we do have to keep in mind that he has not thrown a baseball in a live game since like a week ago. Like this is his. He really needed spring training.
Yeah. And if you're not an Orioles fan, guys, we're talking about Felix Bautista. Sorry.
Let's be honest. Are there any non-Orioles fans listening at this point?
I hope not. And then my third favorite thing, and this is my number 1 favorite thing, is, guys, I don't know if you see Adley Rutschman right now. My man's killing it. He looks great. I've never seen his swing as good as it looks. I know it's spring training, but his swing's a swing. His launch angle is amazing. My man, like I said, he looks like he looked when he played college. Like, he looks great. Really excited because, boy, a bounce back Adley Rutschman would be huge for the O's. What do you got, Elijah?
So I went for 3 pitchers who I actually have a great stats for the 3 of them. And I'm going to I know you have them written down, so I'm not going to be able to have you guess it, but I'll read it out to everyone. And just keep in your mind before I say these 2 names. So we have 3 pitchers that so far have combined for 18 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 0 earned runs, a 0 ERA. And when you're thinking, who could this be? Maybe it's this guy or Felix Bautista maybe if he's doing great, even though Cody just said he's looking a little rough. Tomoyuki Sagano, Charlie Morton, and Kapovich.
Wow.
They are on fire. And I couldn't ask for more. I mean, this is what you needed to see from them. And like you just said, it is spring training, but this is what I keep telling myself to make me feel better about it. Earlier in spring training, whatever, but especially the later in we get, like this week, last week, you see that the Tomoyuki Suganos, Charlie Morton, Kapovich, they're coming in early in games. Adley Rutschman's having his first couple at bats early in games. It's the major league squad still playing by the third, fourth, fifth inning, and then you see the prospects by the 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, they are playing major league competition, and they're killing it on their own. I know I kind of lumped them together, but Sugano, we really need him to be something this year. Morton, if he can just be decent, eat innings, and Kapovich, I need him to step up. Yeah. There is an availability for him to become a number 2 starter in this rotation, and his elusive fastball, as they say, could get him there. Absolutely. It's going to be interesting. And then I'll actually take those 3 names right into our next segment, which I want to compare our rotation to a rotation that's gone through a lot of injury struggles lately, and that is the Yankees. And right now, I actually had to look up to see what was projected because I couldn't myself figure out who was going to pitch in which spot in which order. We have Zach Eflin number 1, but most projections have Morton as our second pitcher, which would be interesting. Then you got Dean Kramer, Sugano, Povich. I see those bottom 4 could go in literally any order. You could see Kramer going number 2. Kramer could be 5. We don't know. Are we going to get really good Dean Kramer, or are we going to get playoff Dean Kramer that gives up 6 runs in 2 innings?
Yeah.
Sugano, is he going to be able to come out here and fire him off, or is he going to look like an old man? Same with Morton.
Yeah.
Povich, we kind of know what we're going to get. We saw it last year. We just hope he can improve, and we need Zach Eflin to be nails.
Yeah. What's funny is I'm looking at that rotation, and other than Eflin, you don't have 2024 as one of our best pitchers for 2024 on there.
Who?
Albert Suarez.
I
know. Isn't that crazy though?
I think it's crazy that he's not even going to have a spot on our opening day roster.
I think he will.
I don't.
Because Grayson's not going to be on there.
But that's the thing. If Grayson was on here, you just have Sugano or Morton on the bullpen. I think that's what you see happen. They're both going to be there. If you genuinely, some of our offseason moves have maybe just. I don't even understand them because I've tried looking at a roster to figure out what 26 men are going to be on there. Mm-hmm. And there's not a spot for Kobe Mayo. There's not a spot for Albert Suarez. There's not a spot for 35 different relievers that we could have there. It's going to be really interesting. I think there has to be an injury for Suarez to make the roster, I think.
No, I don't think. I think what happens is one of the position players, because the Orioles always go pitcher heavy at the beginning.
I know, no. I know they'll go pitcher heavy, but you'll have 5 outfielders most likely, and between O'Hearn and Mountcastle, you'll have 1 backup infielder and 2 catchers, and then that leaves you 8 relievers and your 5 starters. Because you'll probably run out 13 and 13, or do you think they're going to do 14 and 12?
I think they're going outfield Colton, Heston, Cedric, Tyler, Ramon, and Dylan won't make it. I could be wrong.
I think Laureano's going to be on there just because what do you do? Okay, you have a left-handed pitcher. You have 2 lefties in the outfield.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just looking at how, I mean, I get it.
if you do that, you only have 4 bench bats, and one of those is Gary Sanchez, who can play catcher or DH. And that's not – well, no, you have 3 bench bats because you'd have to have someone DH. Because you could have O'Hearn, say, DHing, or Kerstad DHing, then the other one's on the bench. And between that, maybe you have Arias on the bench, and you have Sanchez.
Yeah.
I don't think they run out 3 bench bats. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really hard to judge. But
I guess unless then you see maybe Gunnar, go out on the injured list to start the season.
It's really going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
But
But what makes me feel better is looking at the Yankees rotation. I went through my head and I thought this. There's only 3. There's 2 pitchers on the Yankees rotation that would not touch our rotation, even with how bad it is right now. Because I don't think Will Warren or Marcus Stroman would have a spot in our rotation.
Yeah.
And you have Max Fried, who's their ace this year now with Garrett Cole being down. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be good. He's proven that. He's really good when he's healthy, but he gets hurt a lot. And it's going to be interesting to see what plays out with that. Carlos Rodon, I think he's an improvement over most of our guys. Yep. I think he would probably be – I mean, if he were to be on the Orioles, he'd be probably our second best pitcher, honestly, according to what happens with Povich. And I think Clark Schmidt, he is really underrated. I've liked him for a while. I think he's really hidden in the back end of the rotation, and I think he's going to be kind of their gem. But with Luis Gil out, it's really interesting. Marcus Stroman's been fighting not to go to the bullpen, and it's kind of paid out for him. He's going to be a starter this year, and if he's like he is last year, he's going to be really bad. And Will Warren is going to be a rookie. I don't know if you're familiar with Will Warren's stats, but I wasn't before looking it up, and I was like, God, I keep seeing people hyping him up. He has a 1.54 ERA in spring in 11 2/3 innings. Do you want to see what guess his 2024 regular season ERA?
Mid 3.
10.32 in 22 2/3 innings. And last year in AAA, he had above a 5.5 ERA. So it seems like I will say, I read a couple articles, and Yankees fans are really hyping up, saying that he looks different. Yankees fans also like to hype up everything, so I take that with a grain of salt. It's going to be interesting to see. I think he could be really good, or he could be really bad. I wouldn't take the chance on it, like putting him in a rotation like ours. I still think he would be cut off. But when it comes up to it, I think the Yankees are more top-heavy. The bottom is really bad, and I think it's more Eflin's the anchor, and then the rest just need to float, really. They just need to get us through the week. Yeah. So our bullpen, I think our bullpen's going to be very good. If you can get a lead to our bullpen in the 6th inning, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Most night.
Yeah, I agree. It's just amazing how the media thinks. I mean, the Yankees are going to run away with the division.
And if I was a betting man and you gave me the choice to bet on a team to win the division, obviously I'm going to pick the Orioles. But if you wouldn't, I think I'd almost pick the Red Sox right now. Mm-hmm. And I had the same Yankees fan that I was telling you about that I was talking to yesterday. He even told me that. He says there's no clear-cut division winner. It's going to be a bloodbath. And we were like, yeah, there's going to be one team that sneaks into the mid-90s, lower 90s win column, and that's who's going to win. And it very easily could be the Red Sox. And he even said that. He says he doesn't believe enough in the Yankees as they are right now. It's really, can someone make a trade at the deadline for Dylan Cease? Can someone bring in a good pitcher that pushes them over? And, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's crazy. But good news. The MLB season is almost here. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You know, it's amazing the difference of years because, of course, last year when we started this podcast, right now we're talking about all of our top prospects, everything. We're talking about, Colton Cowser, is he going to make the team? Heston Kershaw, now it's all getting cleared up a little bit. You know what I mean? The Jackson Holiday saga from last season is over. We know he's going to start with the 2025 squad. Now, Kobe Mayo, we still don't know anything about him. He's struggling this spring still, hitting the ball on the ground a lot.
I think for him, it really just depends if Gunner's hurt.
Yeah.
I think he's the next guy up at this point.
Yeah. But, so it's, I just wonder next year when we're doing this right now, what other, what's going to be cleared up by then? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think a couple of my biggest questions right now is, can Gunner do it again? Is Adley going to make a step forward? And is Sugano legit? You know what I mean? Those are three of my big questions right now that I'm really curious to find out. And obviously we will find out. If Gunner does it again, I wouldn't buy too many jerseys because he's not going to be on the team very long. I think Adley can step up and do it again. Step up and be a leader of the team this year. Sugano, I have no idea. He's a wild card. Yeah. If he can win 10 games this year, he's going to be amazing. So we shall see. Yeah. But we just want to thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode here on the Eutaw Street Banter podcast. We can't wait to see you next week. We're going to start getting on weekly again. We got our two new co-hosts with Greg and Brad, who's going to start jumping on more often to just give us some different points of views and really help us out. Please make sure you like and follow us on all of our social medias. We're on X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. And also, to listen to us, we're on YouTube. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. That really helps us out. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And we are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and any way you can find us, right? So until next time, guys, we will see you. We hope next time we have great news for you, and have a great rest of your week. Thanks, guys.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.